So sometimes you get little scoops because, this stuff's hard, and sometimes you get the big scoops. And today we got the big scoop with Justin Jefferson joining the show. Justin, I've been trying to get an interview with you for years. I've been running after you, and I can't catch you, but I think I got you.
We finally made it.
We got you here. So I appreciate you so much for joining the show. It's been a pretty eventful few months for the Vikings, and you just found out that your rookie quarterback is going to be out for the year. Just for the small amount of time that you were around him. What'd you see from him?
He's a guy that he's a sponge that wants to grab all of the information that he can. Always asking questions on how to become that top tier quarterback. Just trying to learn the offense as a whole. Of course, I told him, coming in as a rookie, he has to have that confidence. He has to carry himself with that confidence every time he's on that field. So it was great working with him the time that we worked with each other. But he's going to be in that building around us all year. So still going to be chopping it up with him, trying to teach him different things that he needs to learn to become a top-tier quarterback in this league. And, of course, he has a year to really watch and learn and really, figure out how he's going to become that quarterback for us.
Coach told me he's got an arm. He's like, that's the thing.
He has an arm for sure.
So you're the one experiencing it because you're catching it. Did that surprise you, just like how good Sam Darnold's arm is?
Oh yes. Very surprising. It is my first time really, being around Sam and having him throw to me. So to see the balls that he throws, especially the go balls, the deep balls that he throw, it was right in the hands, and it feels like a soft pillow. So he's been doing a great job, just trying to learn and try to build that chemistry with the whole team.
Yeah, you've had personally for you just an incredible few months, just being able to reset the market at the receiver position. And the moment you found out that this was going to happen, because look, there was no argument to be had. The Vikings wanted you. They were going to do what it took. But to know that the reality of it, this is it. This is the check. This is what it looks like. This is how much money I'm going to be making for you. What was that moment like?
It was definitely a big moment for me and my family to finally, just have the contract done and, just get to move on and think about what's next for the future, but the money wasn't a big thing for me. I was more focused on my play on the field and how I can get to the Super Bowl. That was my main objective. I didn't really worry about the money too much. I knew that the money was going to come when it comes, but I'm glad that it's done and I don't have to answer any more questions on it.
I know. It's funny you say that, right? Because that's what happens. And you use the word distractions. We always hear, oh, it's such a distraction. Well, it's a distraction for the person that's going through it, right? Because it's exhausting to answer the questions. What's up with your contract? What's up with your contract?
Exactly.
We're seeing CeeDee Lamb right now. We're seeing Jamar Chase, guys that I know you want to see get paid, and yet you're the one. You're the trailblazer. You're the one who threw it in the sand here, saying like, this is what your receivers are worth, and I'm going to make the top dollar. And these guys are all trying to chase it right now. What's that like to know that you were the one that reset this thing?
It feels great. It feels great for sure to be the reigning leader.
What's your advice for these guys that are like even Brandon Ayuk, like guys that are just waiting to get these deals done?
Yeah.
What is that like as a player going through it?
I would just say, don't let it distract you from, what you're good at, which is, playing football. I always played football. I didn't really sit out. I didn't really, get on social media and talk about the contracts talks or any of that. I just let, all of the rumors be rumors, not really, clarifying on anything. Just, letting my agent and the Vikings do all the talking, and I'm sitting there and saying what I like, what I don't like, and what we should move on and do. But just keep the outside people out, and just worry about what you got to do on that field. Just keeping that clear head and just going out there and just ball and just let that contract, do all of the talking for itself.
Yeah, it's still so hard. And I will say, like, your team and your agency and even the Minnesota Vikings, you guys did such a good job of keeping, as somebody that digs to get stories, you kept me out a lot. I got nothing. I just knew you wanted to.
That was the plan.
I know. So plan executed, touchdown. So the one thing I've noticed about you, though, even when you're going through the contract and then when we saw you on the Netflix series, family's so important to you. And it's not not just, oh, here's a guy that just appreciates his family. You are a superstar, the best at his position, and yet your mom and dad are the center of your world, and you make it very known.
For sure.
What is it about your parents that you have this absolute loyalty to at this point in your life?
Yeah, I mean, just for them to have to raise 3 boys that plays nothing but sports and want to be active, and we're all different in our own way, but to be 2 parents that's just devoted to supporting their kids and teaching us how to be humble, how to take care of ourselves, how to be young men at the time, so it's definitely kudos to them for installing what we needs to be as men in our head at a very young age, and just always having that love for one another. Each one of us are very close still, even when we're in different parts of the country. So it's always family first with us. We're always together supporting one another. So whenever I get that deal or something else happens with our family, we all celebrate as one.
Does she have diamonds as big as the ones you have in your ears? That's what I want to know.
Not as big. She don't even like these. She don't even like these.
They're big. How many carats are those?
I want to say 3.5 in each.
3.5 in each.
3.5
you bought those yourself?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
yeah. Well, I think Mama
I'm a jury person. So
I've heard.
I like having my jewelry, my drip down.
Yeah. Why? What does that make you? Because I know you have this alter ego, right? You got Jet. You got Justin, you turn this thing on. Yeah. You're like Beyonce, she's got that thing, right? I think it's Sasha, right? And so when she performs, she does this whole thing,
exactly.
and you're the same way.
For sure.
Why do you feel like you have to have 2?
Because you can't have the same.
You can't be moving at that pace with that tenacity.
No, you gotta have to have that switch. You gotta have that downtime where you chilling to yourself. You're not that rowdy, energetic person. You're more in a closed space and to yourself and just relaxing. Whenever you turn it on, that's when you put it on jets, and that's when you put on a whole different mood. You have a whole different mindset. You're trying to go out there and kill it. Yep. So that's the type of mood you got to be in. You got to have 2 different sides of it for sure. That
was something your teammates all shared with me, because I was like, hey, I'm just trying to get some dirt on you. I'm like, come on, give me something on Justin. Give me something. They're like, he likes to be alone a lot. I'm like, oh, all right. Is Justin Jefferson just kind of a homebody?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, and Jets, he's like, let's go.
100%. I like playing a video game, boy, being in my own space. Listening to music, talking to my friends and playing a game and relaxing. When I'm around all of this, it's a lot sometimes. So, dealing with fans and, just dealing with football, it's a lot to deal with sometimes. So whenever I'm at home, I just be to myself, play my video game and relax.
People love the gritty so much, and I do too, and I love seeing little boys and little girls' faces when they see you. It's so cool. Do you like them? You make their day.
Oh, it's
but
one of the greatest
But at some point
feelings.
here, though, Justin, are we going to evolve? Are we going to do a new one?
Like, for sure. We're definitely.
Are we working on something?
We're looking on, trying to do different dance moves and implement my teammates a little more. But I feel like the gritty will always be there.
The gritty, yeah, it's the original.
100%.
It's like the Britney Spears of pop music. Like there's no one replacing it, right?
Exactly. The gritty will always be a part of me. Every time I see a kid, they want a gritty. So I feel like that's something that will always stick around with me.
Well, I think with the way TikTok is right now and all the dancing, look, I will send you a few that I would try to do. And listen, I will never put it out there because, man, some people, and you can move, but there are people out there, I don't know if they have jobs because they must be just working this thing out.
For sure, all day, every day.
Long, right? Our final last question, just trying to get the scoop on, what do you drive?
I drive a Maybach Mercedes. I just got it last year, so yeah, it's one of my babies right now. I'm trying to get like a more car that I can, go around with.
And not have a lot of attention, you mean?
Yeah,
like a minivan or just
no,
we
ain't going that far. We ain't going minivan, but what I'm saying, just
maybe something a little bit, something that will blend a little bit. More average guy.
Yeah. So I ain't got to drive the Maybach all the time. I just riding the slider. We call it the slider.
The slider. All right, cool. All right, Justin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for tuning into Scoop City. If you want to hear more, make sure you like and subscribe. We drop our new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.